Hello then, everyone. So, I've been an idiot. I forgot to put a memory card in my camera. So, for this video, we're starting with this already mostly done. Does it want to focus? There we go. So, this is the start of my Ultramarine Terminator Captain little kitbash rework, whatever you want to call it. It is made up of 3 kits currently. I might add another one on this shoulder pad, but we'll see. It has the Terminator Captain body, this arm, and this pauldron with its little tag thing filed off. It's then got the helmet, if it wants to focus again. Come on, there you go. Of a Grey Knight, which it's actually from the Dark Angels, whatever you call it. I don't know what it's called. I've forgotten its name now. The sword thing from the... Oh god, it's on screen right now. It's then got even more modification done to its helmet, if it wants to focus again. Come on, camera. Okay, you know what? There we go. That'll do. It's got like the little halo bits around its helmet, which are ripped off of Rute Gilliman's secondary head option. And then finally, it's got Rute Gilliman's shoulder pad. So, with that said, it is time to start the painting. So let's get into that. Oh, it's also got like a little extra tag on the back of it. But apart from that, it is just the Terminator Captain. So let's get started. So I started with covering the entire model in Beowulf Blue from Speed Paint 2.0. I then did his helmet crown thing. Oh god, I forgot where it is. Oh, that's my bad. But I painted that with Speed Paint 2.0's Orc Skin. I then moved on to the trim, which I did in Ducat. I'm going to call it Ducat Gold. And I just want to say that I absolutely love how this Gilliman shoulder pad is looking on the Terminator. I was hoping to save it for another guy. Or, I don't know, I was going to magnetize it so I could replace it with my current Gilliman model. Because I'd convert to something else. But anyway, that's side topic. But I absolutely love how it looks on the Terminator Captain. I absolutely love Terminator Captains. I think they're amazing. But yeah, I'm really happy with how the shoulder pad looks, especially with all the trim picked out with the gold. Right, so this is the guy so far. I am loving it. The Beowulf Blue looks really nice. The gold is making it look really good. I love the green, just brings out a little bit of contrast. Obviously nowhere near done, but I think it's time that we move into the cape. So let's get started on that. So then speaking of the cape, I then picked that out with Corn Red, which I really love for Ultramarines. Just that nice darker red that I think works really nicely, rather than the big bright reds that they often have on the box art, which I just think it just clashes too hard. So I like the nice, softer, darker colors, but that's just me. Okay then, so for me the next thing was to get the Ultramarine logo on the shoulder done up. So I grabbed Corax White from Citadel and got that quite nicely painted in, surprisingly without any accidents, which I had been cleaning up periodically, but I'm not really mentioning that because I don't really think accents are worth mentioning. Or unless it's a huge one. If I make a huge one, I will point that out because I like to point out my mistakes. Then quickly moved into the details. I did all the papery bits with Citadel's Wraithbone. I then moved onto the sword, which I did with Vallejo Silver, before doing the wax stamps and his eyes with Mephiston Red. Then to mostly round out the main body, I used Abaddon Black for the under armor. Now that the silver on the sword had dried, I picked up my Citadel, I'm going to butcher this so hard, but Athermatic, oh god, blue, and put it quite liberally and very wet on the both sides of the sword over the writing for taking my finger and just wiping it off. Right then, so this is what he is looking like so far. This shoulder pad is a little bit plain, but that is fine. I think that the writing's come out decently alright. Cape is fine. So I need to do a little bit of the wires. I love this shoulder pad. Looks great. Can't really see the details amazingly on it, but I think that's better lighting. And obviously the front is lovely. So moving on, I need to just pop them off. I need to do the underside of the cape, the gun, and then the little wires, like there. And then that is the actual model done. And we can move on to the base. So let's just go from there. Then, so before moving on to anything else, I grabbed up my Speed Paint 2.0 Pallid Bone to bring out the writing on the shoulder pad. With that done, I pop the model off the base to give the underside of the cape a coat of Talaran, I think it's called, Talaran sand, to give me just that little bit of extra color to the bottom side of the model, and just not have a full red cape, which I don't think looks amazing. Moving on to the gun, I gave part of it a coat of TT Combat's gunmetal before taking a little break and letting my ADHD kick in to paint the belt with Citadel, Jesus, Mechanics, oh my god, with Citadel Mechanicus Standard Grey. I finally got that out. I then moved back to the gun using Vallejo Dark Grey to finish off the main portion of the gun, then grabbing back up the Ducat Gold for the half Aquila on the side, and finally using TT Combat's Heart Sink Bronze for the exposed shells. And then to round off the actual model part, with the exception of the decals, I grabbed up Speed Paint 2.0 Magic Blue to do the leathery, fabricy bit of the sword's handle. With the model now done, it is time to move on to the base. Starting off with the base, there is the actual molded part that the Terminator Captain will stand on with the dead Tyranid. I want to start with that, so Tyranid itself. I had a brief discussion with kind of myself internally if I wanted to do a normal Tyranid from High Fleet Leviathan, or if I wanted to do a Tyranid from my own custom High Fleet Blizzard. I decided in the end to go with a normal High Fleet Leviathan Tyranid, because it's just more recognizable and just probably better for the Ultramarine Captain. So I then used Pallid Bone for the skin. Leaving that to dry for a minute, I grabbed up Vallejo's Flat Earth, just to give a little bit of the dirt on what I'm going to make a kind of more foresty, not exactly foresty, but like it's grassy area. Then I grabbed some Sea Grey, also from Vallejo, to do like the little rocky bits, before using Hive Dweller Purple for the armor. And then finally, because he is dead, I grabbed up a Ripped Sponge and Blood Red from Speed Paint 2.0 and dabbed that quite generously across both the Tyranid, the rest of the base, and the Terminator Captain's foot. Right then, so this is what we have now. Got the red, got all the blood on. Now, oh, maybe that's away. All that's left is to grab out the scenery stuff, the fake grass, the dirt, stuff like that, and to get that down. So let's get started on that. So then the first thing I do is grab my Army Painter basing glue and just kind of casually apply it with a brush, just moving it around a little bit in more random places because I'm using both little rocks and grass. So do the rocks first, just putting a little bit down. Then obviously I just dump the rocks in it. I do it over a little Tupperware container thing so I can move all the rocks that I don't get on the base back into the bag to use later. And then do essentially the same thing for the grass. Then grab one of the little peel bushes things. I think it's essentially like a little bush. And put that on the base as well. And then finally I finish the base off with 3 little corkboard rocks. Before the very last step, which is to grab back up the Abaddon Black and just paint in the base rim. And that's it. So let's see the final product. Right then, so there we have it. My custom Ultramarine Terminator Captain, all done, ready to join my, okay, yeah, pretty basic Ultramarine force. So with that said, I hope you all enjoyed. I love doing this video. I'll probably do more like it in the future. But have a good one, everyone, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.